the Kansas City Chiefs still have failed in their endeavor to sign a wide receiver. Well, at least I think that's their endeavor. I'm not sure anymore. It doesn't look like the Chiefs are signing any free agent receiver in this year's free agent class. I mean, just today, Curtis Samuel was signed for $24 million, which goes out to $8 million a year as it's for 3 years. That's not a completely unreasonable deal. And for a guy who's been not like elite, but, reliable, at least compared to MVS, which not going to get into him, but I think we all know how elite he is compared to a guy like that, or Mecole Hardman, who fumbles back-to-back touches. And you know which game I'm talking about. Yes, he caught that deep pass. Yes, he caught the game-winning touchdown. The game-winning touchdown, that was practically a handoff. Sure. That's a catch I expect you to make, though. Curtis Samuel has been better than both of those guys, and he is getting $8 million a year. Now, I suspect this thing with L'Jarius Sneed is the thing that is slowing them down, as he's still on that $19 billion franchise tag. Everyone in the media is stating that he's going to be traded, that there's all these teams interested, yet no trade. Is Brett Veach trying to get a first-round pick out of L'Jarius Sneed, perhaps? And maybe he's just, he has his price and he just won't go over it, or he won't go under. He just refuses. I don't know. Nobody seems to know. He probably doesn't want to even get a second-round pick, but guys, it's either you sign L'Jarius Sneed to an extension, which I find, well, as it goes on, maybe it will be more likely if we don't get a free agent wide receiver, which the Kansas City Chiefs desperately need. If they don't do that, then, guys, L'Jarius Sneed might get re-signed just to cap off this year's three-peat run so they can sign, I don't know, more depth. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Yes, the Chiefs have done things at free agency. Yes, they've re-signed Chris Jones, Drew Tranquill, Mike Pennell, whatever. But we still haven't solved arguably the two biggest problems on the offense, which is tackle, which that is understandable. Tyron Smith, who's old and injury prone. Donovan Smith, yeah, he's I understand. I get the tackle thing. But this whole receiver thing, guys, I mean, we couldn't pay $8 million a year for a solid receiver, and better yet, we let him go to Buffalo, who's potentially a playoff opponent, more than likely will be a playoff opponent. We let them get stronger. To me, this seems like a failure in free agency. Marquise Brown is still out there. I will say that. But, guys, he's probably going to want at least as much as Darnell Mooney got, and he got nearly $40 million in his deal with a whole lot of guaranteed money. I don't think the Chiefs are going to pay that. If they're not even going to pursue Curtis Samuel for $8 million, maybe there's all these talks that they were going to pursue him, but if they're not even going to pay him $8 million a year, there's zero chance that we're going to pay Marquise Brown. I'm going to be honest. I don't see Brett Veach reaching for Marquise Brown if we didn't even really reach for Calvin Ridley, Darnell Mooney, whatever. And guys, there is Mike Williams on the market, injury prone. Hunter Renfrow, basically a slot receiver. Yeah, if you get, what he was a few years ago, maybe he's worth something. Allen Robinson, old. OBJ. Yeah, no thank you. Tyler Boyd, he's not a horrible option. Michael Thomas, he's out of his prime. MVS, yeah, no thank you. DJ Chark, yeah, okay. You might as well sign with Cole Harmon at that point. And there's a few other guys, but if we don't sign a wide receiver soon, this is going to be a failure, at least in free agency. Maybe the Chiefs draft 2 wide receivers in the draft. But I find it hard to believe that the Chiefs are going to be able to trade up, trade down, or anything because teams are not dealing with the Chiefs. We've tried to trade up for Zay Flowers last year. No one was willing to move up. No one was willing to budge. Same thing. We tried to trade down. No one was willing to budge. So we were stuck with Felix Aduke Nzamba, who I've probably pronounced his name wrong, but guys, he hasn't earned. He's not a. I mean, we'll see what he is next year, but I don't know. He seems like someone that's probably not going to be even as good as George Karlaftis. So I'll let you interpret that as you wish. But yeah, I think this free agency period, besides getting Chris Jones and a few defensive line pieces, it's been not the greatest. Yeah, we got a tight end who's probably not even going to be starting over Noah Gray. We got a 32-year-old defensive tackle who had a great performance in the Super Bowl, but a 32-year-old defensive tackle. And then we got a developmental defensive tackle. We got all these. We got James Winchester. We got all these non-needle mover type guys at the end of the day. And the offense hasn't really gotten better at all, which was the problem last year, not the defense. So, guys, I think if Mike Williams, if Hollywood Brown is not on the market tomorrow, Mike Williams tomorrow, OBJ tomorrow, Tyler Boyd tomorrow, if those guys are on the market and they're gone, I'd say it's safe to say the Chiefs have failed in improving the offense and free agency at the very least. I don't know what Brett Veach is doing. He's just, we won the Super Bowl, so let's just do the same thing. Yeah, everyone forgot about the regular season and how horrible that was. Luckily, the defense was so elite that it bailed Mahomes out. Well, bailed Mahomes out. That's disrespectful to him. It bailed his receivers out multiple times throughout the season. Patrick Mahomes had to turn into a game manager in the Baltimore game because if we turn over the ball with that offense, you're basically going to lose the game. Like in that second Raiders game, get that turnover next to the red zone. Yeah, you know the one. Yeah, it became that sort of style. And back in 2018, you can live with a few turnovers. You can live with a few fumbles. You can live with a few mistakes on offense. But you always knew that they were going to have some explosive play the drive after. Those explosive plays have been far and few between. So I'd say not getting a free agent wide receiver, at least someone that isn't Mecole Hardman or MVS or Equanimous St. Brown or some, no-name receiver, no disrespect to him, but not a needle mover. It's just not going to work. So that's all I got.